Welcome everybody to Wednesday, isn't it? It also merges into one. Wednesdays, I think, MUTV Group Chat. Great to have your company. The regulars, the lads are here as ever. Maisie's here, Wes, Danny, and Ben Thornley. Hi guys, how you doing?
Morning lads. Morning Stewart.
How was your birthday in captivity, Ben? Was it all right?
Yeah, a little bit different to normal, but at least we had the weather, so we could enjoy it outside, and had the neighbours over the fence as well, sharing a drink with us. So yeah, it was okay. Bit different, but still enjoyed it.
How are you social distancing while sharing a drink with your neighbours?
Exactly.
How are you doing that, mate?
I just said they were the other side of the fence.
Yeah, but surely how'd you get the drink to them?
No. Well, they have their own drinks, and we have our own drinks.
Right, okay. Just checking.
Yeah, yeah.
Over the fence?
It's a very, very small fence, mate. In fact, it's actually slatted, so I can see through it rather than over it.
As ever, we're gonna bring you a bit of reaction from yesterday's show, when of course Dennis was on it. These are from below the line on YouTube. Ben Thornley is starting to look like a Toby jug. Ben Thornley starting to look like a Toby jug. And Wes looks like he's about to go into battle with the Ninja Turtles. That's because of the haircut, which you've covered up again, Wes. Can you just show us again? Do you look like you're about to go into battle with the Ninja Turtles? A bit. A bit. And is a Toby jug? Is that harsh or not? Where do we get that from?
I don't even know what they're trying to get by that. Maisie will explain it, I'm sure.
Toby jugs like really fat cups.
I've just googled it now.
Yeah.
I'm just googling it.
There he is.
Thanks, Daniel. Cheers, mate.
Hey, don't shoot the message.
This one is Cantona's rooming with David May. Oh man, that was funny. I was still smiling when the video was over. Thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, that is a story. And when Cantona and Maisie's roommates, completely contrasting characters, would have loved to know if Maisie could actually sleep after lights out or just lay down thinking, what have I gotten myself into here? Great chat, guys. Haven't missed one yet. People enjoyed the thought of you and Eric rooming together, Maisie. Different characters.
Great character. Great. Yeah, totally. Chalk and cheese. As I say, he just passed me the remote control. And I'm thinking, like, what do I do with it? So I ended up just like zapping it and turning the TV off. Just off. Keep him awake. Great character.
Yeah, brilliant. Good story as well. This one from Nathan, the legend that is Dennis Irwin, the best left back and right back in United's history, and also Mickey Ward saying Dennis Irwin, what a player. I don't think any of us would disagree with that. Great to have Dennis on the show yesterday. So let's bring on today's guest, who played 263 times for United, won 3 Premier Leagues, a couple of FA Cups, Cup Winners' Cup in 91, former United winger, sometimes fullback. Lee Sharpe, who joins us. How you doing, mate?
Very well, mate. How are you? How are you doing, boys?
Yes, Sharpie, all right.
Sharpe.
Morning, Sharpie.
Got the right line up here, haven't you? Jesus.
But when you look at this lineup, what goes through your mind?
I wouldn't like to scrap any of them, that's for sure. Apart from maybe Ben.
I don't know. He's an angry man. He's an angry man.
Well, yeah. Us wingers are not the most aggressive, to be fair.
Yeah. How are you getting on, mate, in this period of captivity?
Yeah, it's a Groundhog Day, isn't it? It's I'm turning into children's entertainer, so I'm watching a bit of kids' TV, Peter Rabbit and Dougie, Frozen 2, you name it. Yeah, do you know what? I'm actually not too bothered about it. I spend a bit of time around the house anyway. As far as the after dinner speaking, I'm not stuck in traffic every Thursday and Friday. Just missing sport at weekends really for something to watch.
You mentioned after dinner speaking. Is that what you're doing most of?
Yeah, that's sort of my bread and butter, the after dinner stuff. So obviously that's out the window now. I don't know when that will come back. If they're on about opening pubs in December, then I'm guessing the after dinner stuff will be put off till next year. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Do you ever look back though on what you achieved with United? We mentioned what you won, the appearances and so on there, and you did it at a young age. Do you look back?
Yeah, I mean, obviously with the after dinner stuff, I generally talk about that team that I was fortunate to play in, or the sort of crux of the team, and it was an unbelievable time to be involved with the club, unbelievable team to be involved with, some great players and some amazing characters. So it was, yeah, I sort of probably go back and think about it a bit more than most because I'm talking about it every weekend.
Yeah. What?
Sure.
Yeah, go on, Maisie. Where you go?
Did you know Sharpie got best speaker of the year?
What?
You got best speaker of the year, didn't you?
Yeah, that's a bit of a Mickey Mouse trophy, though.
Stop there, Paul. Stop there.
There's only 3 of us on the bill, isn't there? It's only like me, Bruce Robillard, or John Hartson.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, you look like you're having a good day. Is that another freebie?
Yeah, I'm not going to get you to give away your act, but what are the subjects that go down best in your routine?
Well, my sort of last and final and finishing stories. There's a couple of stories about Eric. He's sending off at Crystal Palace and the reaction of the manager in the dressing room, and a little spat he had at Old Trafford playing against Razor Ruddock with Liverpool. So I always finish with the Eric story. It seems to go down a storm.
Yeah. When you look back, what for you were the highlights for you, the best memories for you?
There were quite a few. I mean, the Cup Winners' Cup final against Barcelona in Rotterdam was pretty huge for the club and for the players at the time, that we could actually go out and win something. I think we then went on and won the first Premier League. I think there was so many to do back-to-back doubles. The nights out we used to have were amazing. The trips we used to have were amazing. It was all before social media and before most people had mobile phones. I remember getting actually nailed by the manager. I think I was 20 or 21 and I had one, like a mobile phone, an early mobile phone. He absolutely rinsed me to bits for being flash for having a mobile phone at 21. I thought it's absolutely ridiculous. My nephew's got one at 7 now. I don't know what the manager would say to him.
What would have happened if people would have had phones in their cameras in those days, Sharpie?
I think I'd have had more house parties, to be fair. Although the manager generally quarters at them, so probably not.
Yeah. What was it like? I mean, the sort of dressing rooms you were involved with was packed full of strong characters, with great characters. I mean, what were they like?
Well, I used to sit next to Keeney, and Keeney was, as you see Keeney on telly, Keeney was a little bit like that in the dressing room. He was no holds barred, shooting from the hip. His banter was really funny, but pretty brutal and barbaric towards some people. Paul Parker, as soon as he used to hear Keeney's voice come down the corridor, he used to get up and walk out, pretend he was sat on the toilet. I don't know how Gary Neville survived all those years with Roy Keane in the dressing room, because every day, on and off the pitch, Keane just caned him. And then obviously the sort of earlier days we had Robbo, who was looked up to by a guy. We had Incy that came in that was a pretty strong character. Big Pete Schmeichel, who was always an angry man. So we had a few in there, and you sort of had to stand up and be counted for.
It was funny because you think back as well. You were one of the sort of first players who had almost sort of pop star status for a while. You and Ryan Giggs. I mean, when you look back now, do you think that was brilliant, or did you think, well, maybe I'd have done it differently?
No, I'd have done nothing differently. I think it was proper rock and roll. You know, the team and the club had just started to become really successful. Manchester, the music scene was huge. You had the Hacienda that was massive. Oasis, take that. All the bands coming in. you know, you sort of all the music at the time was Happy Mondays, Stone Roses. It was just an incredible time to be around Manchester, an incredible time for the team and the club to be successful. And yeah, I think at times we got confused as to whether we were sportsmen or rock and rollers. It was an unbelievable time.
Ben, did you ever get confused about that? Oh, yeah.
No. I wish I'd have had the chance to, but no, I didn't. No, we were a bit younger than Lee, but we were told under no uncertain terms how we had to conduct ourselves, and I think we're all a little bit too scared of the manager to try and defy him.
Well, we're talking about the manager. Obviously, I remember. Obviously, your book goes into detail about your quite a strained relationship with the manager. But now you look back now, is it? Would you know? How do you reflect on it now?
How do I reflect on it? I just think it was an amazing time. I think I'm not sure it could have gone any better. Really, I think the success we had. I think we learned as well from getting beat in the last first division against Leeds. I think the manager made unbelievable decisions in the players he brought in. I think he trusted some of his senior players and listened to them. I think Roy Keane was brought on the back of a couple of the older players' recommendation. And it was just an unbelievable time to be around Manchester and the club. Like I said, some fantastic players. I didn't realise till I left United that some stadiums weren't actually full because everywhere we went, every week it was ram-packed everywhere. I thought all football was like that.
Do people still mention the shuffle? Because we're talking to Wes, we were waiting to chat to you. He said, that's the sort of thing he remembers because he was obviously a young lad at that point. Do people still mention the shuffle to you?
Yeah, I did the after dinner stuff, and some people are sort of asking me to do the shuffle, but it's a bit different when you're 19, 20, and then you get to nearly 50, and people are asking you to do this little daft dance. It doesn't quite look the same. That dad dance style doesn't quite work.
What do you remember the shuffle, do you?
I remember it. Yeah, we were still in school, and that's all we used to try and do when we scored. I was playing right wing then. I was right wing then, Sharpe.
Were you?
Yeah.
Tricky winger?
No, just fast. I wouldn't say tricky. But yeah, we used to try and do that at the end of it.
I want to see you do that, Wes.
You good one, Stu. Look at Stu there. He'd have to
I'm
throw
just
something in the spanner.
I tell you what, Wes, we've all done little things and stuff like that. Stuart's done nothing. He's done absolutely nothing.
I'm not doing the shuffle.
He's not that yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel what do you watch current United, Sharpie? And what do you think of current Manchester United?
I think they get in there. I think Fernandes has been a good addition to the team. I think sometimes they just look as though they're sort of left to their own device and they don't really have a plan at times. But I think that's changing. I think they're playing quicker. I think they're moving the ball quicker, and I think they're getting more creative. I think a couple of decent players in the summer. I don't think they'll be too far off. I think Liverpool and City are special teams, but I don't think they'll be too far off with a couple of additions.
Do you think, when you look at the Premier League today, do you look at it now and wish you were part of it, and think you could have had a big impact if you were part of it now?
Well, I think anybody that's played it in the past would be able to play it now. I think you would adapt. You know, the diet and the science would all be different for you. The training would be slightly different. It's just the social side and the going out after, I think, and the camaraderie. I think because there's so many foreigners as well, you don't get. And you got to remember, we were a predominantly British team with British mentality and customs, and that's why we used to go out together. And so I don't think that happens as much now because of the number of foreigners in the team and the different cultures. But I think you adapt. But I think once you know you've got the ability to play in that league, like we all have done, I think yeah, we could have all played now. But it's just different, isn't it? It's different. It's a different game. When I was growing up watching Aston Villa in the early 80s, and everyone was going out at weekends and the players were seen around, and you know, I think my whole thing was I was a fan that played as a player, and that's why I did the stupid celebrations. That's why I always sort of felt an attachment with the fans. The manager weren't so keen, if I'm honest. But I think also the way things are sold on social media and players' profiles are raised on social media, maybe it would have been something that was encouraged, the celebrations and me getting involved with the fans more rather than me to stop doing it and behave myself and be a bit more straight-laced. I think, you know, I had a psychologist on one of the chats I was on the other night saying, sport, you've got to play it. You've got to play it like a kid plays a game. And that doesn't mean to say you mess around. It means you're focused and you're intent on winning, but you still need that creativity, that freedom of your mind to produce the sort of the skill set that you've got. And that's, I was always nervous before a game and had to calm myself down. I was always a bit too excited, a bit too nervous, but I knew to play well, I had to be relaxed and in a sort of happy, smiley frame of mind. And to get in that with the manager breathing down your neck and threatening you all the time was quite difficult at times, but that's just how I sort of saw the game.
How difficult was you sort of touched on it there, how difficult was your relationship with the manager?
How difficult was what, sorry?
Your relationship with the manager.
Well, it got quite difficult in the fact that he just didn't think I took the game serious enough. And anybody will tell you that's played, the worst thing that can ever happen is to have a bad game and you read your name in the paper the next day and you get a 4 out of 10. Nobody wants that. Everybody wants to be the best they can on the pitch. And he just sort of had to go at my performances, my haircuts, my friends, my clothes, my car, anything he could see about me. He sort of had to go at, and in the end, I just sort of started pushing back and thought, well, if you're going to have a go, he even had a go at me when I played well. You know, I'd play well, score winners, and he'd have a go at the celebration after I scored. So in the end, I just thought, you know what, if you're going to have a go when I play well, and you're going to have a go at me when I play bad, what's the point in me listening? So sort of up yours sort of thing. I'll just do what I want, and you can have a go at me for whatever you choose. So let's just crack on that way.
We also, when we get a guest on Sharpe, we ask them for their 6-a-side team from players they played with at United. And obviously, you went from what, 88 to 96. If you had to pick a 6-a-side team, you can be in it if you want with players that you played with. Who would you go for?
I'd never make that team. I'd have to go Schmeichel in goal. And then I would, with players I've played with, I would probably pick Schmeichel in goal. I probably wouldn't have a centre-back. I would have Brian Robson play centre-back. He could do enough defending and playing. And then I'd have probably Keeney and Scholesy in midfield. And then I'd have probably Eric. And I could pick one other, can't I?
Yeah.
I'd have to. Oh, that's a tough one. That'd either be Bex or Giggsy.
Got to pick.
Don't forget, we're going out after this, Sharpie, as well.
They're both ugly though, aren't they? So we're all right. I think I'll go with Bex because I think he might get us in a few more places.
That's a great help.
Giggsy could be sub.
Yeah. Who was the best player you ever played with?
Well, in my dinners, I always say Brian Robson. He wasn't my kind of player because obviously I was a Wingers fan, if you know what I mean. But he just sort of blew me away when I got to Old Trafford, just as a captain, a leader, how much he knew about the game, how much he ran the game when he was on the pitch, how much he helped you when you were having tough days. Training, he was brilliant. He just set a standard going out. He was better than everyone else at drinking and coming back to train and beating everyone else at training. Just everything he did, he just set examples higher and better than everyone else. He was different class.
Yeah. Guys, would you can understand that? I know Robbo was right at the back end of his career, but I mean, he's still an iconic figure, isn't he?
Robbo, yeah, he was phenomenal. I know Keeney came in and was probably another Robson at one point. But I think when Keane became at his best, I'd probably already left. Probably no coincidence that, to be fair.
Yeah. Just a quick word on Leeds, mate, because obviously it's going to be Leeds Man United, I'm sure, next year. How intense is that rivalry? Because you've been part of it, playing for both clubs. We haven't played for so long. What's it going to be like eventually when that is a Premier League game once again?
It'll be electric, absolutely electric. The fans around here are absolutely nuts. I was still going to the or before this lockdown, I was still going into the local pub I've been going into for the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years, and I still walk in and get called scummer. The rivalry is always there, believe me, and they cannot wait to come up to the Premier League and play United. That is going to be the hottest game of the season for them. The fans are nuts. The fans are crazy, but that's what you want. You want. I mean, they're just across the road. It's a nice little hour's drive on the bus. You get an electric atmosphere. It's what you want if you're playing in the Premier League. You don't, all disrespect, but you don't want to be travelling to the other end of the country to play in front of 10,000 at Bournemouth or 15,000 at Norwich. And you know, they're nice teams to have in the league, but Leeds is a proper aggressive, nasty bunch of fans against you, hostile crowd that makes it loud and electric, and you can't. It doesn't get better than that.
How do United fans greet you now when you see them?
Yeah, to be fair, they're not too bad. A few of them still call me scummer and go back to Yorkshire, but I get it both ends. But no, most of them are all right, to be fair. That's just amazing.
Yeah. Well, listen, mate. It's been great catching up. I'm glad things are going well for you, mate. And thank you so much for joining us.
No problem at all. Thanks for having me. Cheers, lads. Nice to see you all.
Lad Sharpe.
Well done, Sharpe.
See you later.
Yeah, great having Lee Sharpe on the show. Well, listen, lads, thank you very much. We're going to have a member of the United coaching staff on tomorrow, so I hope you're going to be smartened up. Kieran McKenna is going to be with us on the show tomorrow. So if you've got any questions for him, by the way, mutv@manunited.co.uk, or any questions for anybody or anything you want us to talk about, mutv@manunited.co.uk. See you tomorrow. Thanks, guys. See you then.
Take care.
Cheers, everyone. See you later.